So again, hello dear my kids. After one day of delay, again we are meeting one more time. So you all know that this is Mithun Raj from Cochin, Kerala, signing in from this part of the world. So today's our subject will be about transportation in humans and also it in plants. So the structure, the diagram you are seeing right now in front of your eyes, it's a diagrammatic representation of our human heart. Most of you already studied at least something about the heart in the previous classes. But before starting, before starting this portion, I want to say you something. Okay, this is a simple topic about heart. Anyway, in transportation in plants also we will discuss later. But this part will be regarding human heart. So, what is the point I am going to tell means? So, this particular part, all these diagrams and all, actually it is very easy. Some difficult terms are there to remember. Once you practice that, it will be very fine. The functioning of our heart is very, very simple. It's only a pump. Okay, it's only a pump. That means it pumps blood throughout our body. Wherever if you are wounded, if you cut your hand, if you cut your legs, you can see that what will come out? Yes, a fluid, a red colored fluid. We call it as blood. So this blood is the reason why the oxygen and the carbon dioxide is traveling throughout our body. So you know that already our small intestines, they will absorb this energy which we have eaten from, not energy, sorry, that simple food molecules, they will absorb it and they will send to the blood. At the same time, oxygen also is being respirated through our nose and our lungs, alveoli does what? It also supplies the oxygen. And the heart which creates that pressure, heart is the organ which creates that pressure to pump the blood throughout our body. You know, without pressure it is impossible the flow of liquid from one place to another. Isn't it? Liquid only travels, only moves from high pressure area to low pressure area. So it is the heart which does that for us. You have seen water pumps and all in your home, isn't it? So what is the work of that pump? To take the water from the borewell to the upside, into your kitchen, into your bathrooms, into your home, wash basin and all. Same purpose is our heart is doing for us. The heart is pumping pure blood into the vessels and taking back impure blood. So listen carefully my dear kids. Pure blood, okay? Every time pure blood means red in color. Okay? Actually the entire blood is red in color, but in diagrammatic representation we can represent it as pure blood or oxygenated blood as red, and at the same time deoxygenated blood or impure blood we can represent it as blue. So here we can see it's a small diagram. Why I am telling this? Because this heart part is very important. And this is the most important diagram for your 10th standard science. The last year also the same diagram asked for the exam. It seems a bit difficult, but there is a different method to draw that. That we will discuss afterward. Not discuss, we will train afterwards. Not only that, and for your higher studies also, you must have this basic, all these structure and each parts of heart, you must know that. There is hardly any NEET exam without a question from this part. So it is a bit confusing. You can see some of these things like aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, valves are there. Okay, mitral valves are there, tricuspid valves are there. Anyway, that valves we don't need to study. Okay, we only want to study about our right artery, and four portions of the heart and different types of important veins and arteries. First of all, what we were going to discuss, we will discuss about what is the difference between the vein and the artery. So the artery is mostly red in color. Okay, the arteries mostly which are red in color, they take pure blood. Okay, they pumps out pure blood to the entire body. Understood? At the same time, these veins, which is mostly blue in color in diagrams, okay, actually the real color is like darkish green, but the arteries color is pure red. Actually it is like a white colored, but for diagrams we represent it as red because it carries pure blood. And one difference is there between impure blood and pure blood. Because pure blood contains what? Pure blood contains the presence of oxygen in it, and impure blood contains presence of carbon dioxide inside that. So our main job is, our heart is to pump this pure blood throughout our body and take that blood to the different organs in our body, and after, when the organs or the cells uses that oxygen, the deoxygenated blood or the blood which contains carbon dioxide, the vein will take it back to the heart, and this heart again pumps that impure blood to the lungs, in which these lungs will take that carbon dioxide and replace it with oxygen. What oxygen we breathe, that oxygen is being replaced by this lungs. So let us see first what all things we need. So actually our heart is divided into four parts. Okay, these 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually it is like a four part. And one more thing, every time if you are drawing heart, it is been bended. Understood? It is been bended a bit towards the right part. Okay, and where is our heart? You already know that it is in the left part of our chest. Okay, it is the left part of our chest. So whenever you are drawing, not draw it straight, draw it a bit, bending is there to the right side. So let us see four most important parts, okay, like rooms in the heart. They are called as this right atrium, right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. Okay, these are the four, what you can say? We can say like a four packets or four boxes inside our heart. All four has what? All four has blood. They will collect the blood which is being pumped by this arteries and vein. Okay, and they will pressurize it back. They will make it pressurize and give out. Actually what is happening, first the impure blood will come to the right atrium, and after that to right ventricle, then some part it is sent to back to pulmonary artery. This is an important thing. What is pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein? Okay, pulmonary means something related to the lungs, and both of these, pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein, they are supplying oxygen to the heart. Oxygen, taking oxygen from the lungs and giving back oxygen to the carbon dioxide to the lungs. What is function? Impure blood is sent to the lungs and pure blood is taken back to the vein. So it is very easy to find out what is the function of vein and artery. Okay, anyway, this arrow mark is given already in the diagram. It refers to the direction of the blood flow. Okay, no doubt about that. So what is really happening? These veins, blue colored veins, every time they bring back blood into the heart. Okay, and arteries, they will pump the blood outside every time. In whatever cases, these veins take back the blood into the heart, and the arteries is the one which takes blood from the heart to the different parts of our body. That's a must condition. So that's why this vein mostly contains impure blood. Okay, so impure blood from different parts of our body is being taken back to the heart by this vein. At the same time, what is the purpose of this artery? Artery will take pure blood to different parts of our body. So biggest artery is also called as aorta. Remember this name, it is very important. Biggest artery is also known as aorta, and this aorta is the main artery in our body, okay, which pumps pure, not pumps, pumping is done from left ventricle, which takes pure blood from heart to different parts of our body. Every part of our body gets good blood because of this aorta. Aorta is nothing but what? It is the biggest artery in our heart. So the next one is vena cava. Okay, vena cava, another vein. It is a vein. Okay, two types of vena cava are there. They are the biggest veins in our body. One is superior and one is inferior. Okay, superior vena cava takes back blood from the upper part of our body, and inferior vena cava takes blood from lower part of our body. There is a lots of different organs in the upper part and also in the lower part. Superior vena cava, upper part, upside. So that's why it is in the upside of the heart, and in the inferior vena cava in the bottom. But aorta, it takes blood to the entire part of the body. So one more difference is there. One more problem is there. Have you seen this wall and also this wall in between? What is the function of that wall? Actually, our vein will carry impure blood and artery will carry pure blood. And both blood is inside our heart. But just imagine that if the impure blood and pure blood is mixed together, what will happen? If the impure blood and pure blood is mixed between each other, it will be a very big problem for our body. That's why we have a wall here. See, a wall separates. Like a spectrum, it is separating the right ventricle, right atrium, and left ventricle and left atrium. So pure blood is every time in this left ventricle and left atrium, and impure blood is every time in right atrium and right ventricle. Okay, and one condition is there. Okay, this vein, only one vein will carry pure oxygen blood. Of course, that particular vein is the pulmonary vein, and it carries oxygen from the lungs. This vein is directly connected to the lungs. Okay. Anyway, lungs also need this oxygenated blood to work. That blood is taken by aorta. But the pure blood which our entire body needs also is produced in our lungs. So that blood is taken by this pulmonary vein. Okay, so that pure blood is sent into the heart. That's why it is a vein. Okay, and that deoxygenated blood, or the blood which contains carbon dioxide, is sent to the lungs. That particular artery is called as pulmonary artery. So this is the main functions of the blood, and there is lots of valve here. Okay, valve. See, like tricuspid valve is there, mitral valve is there. So for what purpose this valve? Actually, the valve, what it does? It will block the blood. Only blood will flow in one direction. Otherwise, there will be different blood pressure in our body. So the main duty of this valve is to make sure that the blood flows in only one direction. Okay, and this wall of left ventricle is very, very thick. Can you see that? See the difference? this wall. So left ventricle has thicker wall. Right ventricle and right atrium has thinner wall. Left atrium also have atrium or atrium, whatever you can call. But this left ventricle, it has a thick wall. For what purpose? It is a muscle. It is full of muscle. For what purpose it has that thick wall? See, you can see that in diagram. Because the artery or the blood, pure blood, which we need, it must be pumped throughout our body. Understand? In the case of that bore well, just imagine that if the depth of that bore well is very, very, very deep, anyway you need motor with more power. So same like that, our body has a lots of organs, and our human body is a big one, isn't it? It's not like a body of a cockroach or a small plant or a insect. So this blood which is supplied throughout our body, it must have a high pressure, otherwise it won't reach each and every part of the body. Okay, it must reach our brain, it must reach our legs, it must reach our liver, eyes, ears, right or not? So for that purpose, the blood must be pumped with high pressure, and that work is done by this left ventricle. Okay, and right ventricle, it just collects the blood and give it back to the pulmonary artery. So that's why that right ventricle does not need any big muscle wall. Okay, these are application level questions. Why the wall of left ventricle is more thicker than right ventricle? Because this pumps pure blood, and the pure blood must reach the entire body, and the same pressure will take back the impure blood through the vein into right atrium, then right ventricle, then pulmonary artery. Okay, so there will be less pressure in veins and high pressure in arteries. Okay, actually in our body you can see that these veins are almost outside our body. Okay, the veins are almost outside the body. We can feel that, we can see that. If you see your hand, you can see one green colored pipe running inside it. That are the veins, and these arteries are inside our hands and legs. Okay, they are deep inside. It is almost near to the bone. So if we just cut a vein, that much blood won't flow out. In the case of heavy injuries, if you have seen directly, in the case of heavy wound, heavy cut and all, one white colored pipe is there inside our body. If that is cut, the blood will just squeeze out, rush out from our body. So that particular pipe is known as the arteries, and arteries are inside our body, not in the surface part. These veins are mostly in the surface part of the body. So let us one more time discuss how they work. Upside we can see the heart and lungs. One more diagram is there. I think the diagram you understood this diagram. It is single. Two types of big veins are there. Inferior or superior vein. That is the biggest vein in our body. They are known as superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava supplies blood or takes blood from lower part of our body. Inferior vena cava takes blood from upper part of our body. At the same time, the biggest artery is known as aorta. 1 mark question. All are 1 mark question. This is also a 5 mark essay, 4 mark diagram, 3 mark question, 2 mark question, multiple choice question. Very important part from this chapter. Okay. Anyway, control and coordination, that part is removed from NCERT book, so that structure of neuron won't be there. So maybe this will be the diagram which is coming this year. Okay. So heart, you must know about your heart. And if you are not choosing science also, you must know the structure and everything about our heart, because it is the one of the important organ, in a vital organ in our body. So let's see one more time. So what is happening here? The pulmonary vein takes pure oxygenated blood to the left atrium. and through that left atrium it reaches left ventricle. So there is a valve in between left atrium and left ventricle, mitral valve, so that the blood pumped by left ventricle won't go back to pulmonary vein to the lungs. Okay, lungs does not need pure blood. Only some blood is needed, but the entire pure blood, so that this left ventricle will pump it to the biggest artery known as aorta, and aorta will take that blood to different parts of our body. And after using this blood, it is sent back to the vein, and two particular veins are there. One is known as inferior vena cava, the biggest vein. This is also biggest vein. These both veins will take that blood back to the heart, and it reaches right atrium, and through this tricuspid valve it reaches the right ventricle pumps that to the pulmonary artery, and from pulmonary artery it reaches lungs. Again through lungs it comes pulmonary vein, left atrium, left ventricle, again going back to aorta, throughout the body, coming back inferior vena cava, after that superior vena cava, then right atrium, right ventricle, again pulmonary artery. Like a cycle it happens. Understood? The same thing is happening every time in your heart. Okay, that one cycle is known as a complete heart beat. That duck, 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 duck. Can you feel that sound? All these things are happening inside our heart. Alright or not? Okay, that was the structure of the heart. Now we want to learn about the function of each and every part of the heart. That we will discuss in next class. But here there is a lots of application level question also will come. Okay, application one NEET question is this: which vein carries pure blood? Only one vein is there which carry pure blood. What is the name? It's pulmonary vein. And only one such artery is there which carries impure blood, and that is same pulmonary artery. Understand? Which part of the heart has the maximum pressure? No doubt it is left ventricle. So these are the main things about our structure of the heart. Okay. Anyway, each and every work of all these parts also. Now you know, aorta taking pure blood through every part of our body. Pulmonary artery taking impure blood to the lungs. Pulmonary vein taking pure blood from lungs to heart. Then comes left atrium, collects the blood from pulmonary vein and give it to the left ventricle. Left ventricle, one of the strongest part in our heart, which pumps the entire blood throughout our body. Aorta takes that blood to the different parts of our body. Then it is used by our different organs, cells and all. After that it comes back to the heart. Impure blood comes back to our heart by two types of veins. Actually there is a lots of small veins are there. These are the most important two veins, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Lots of small veins and arteries are there, and more small arteries and veins are called as capillaries. Okay, these capillaries, they transport or they transform this pure blood and impure blood to the vein and artery. That we will study in our circulatory part, not in the structure of the heart. So these are the main things regarding our heart. Okay, it's very important, and the diagram also you must study to draw. Diagram I will post in the group. That is also your homework. Neatly draw it into your science CW. And regarding this part, we will arrange a quiz. Okay, regarding this part we will arrange a quiz, and mostly 10-mark question. Only this part, these names and all. So listen carefully. 1 or 2 times go through this video, and at the same time read your textbook thoroughly. Okay, textbook is the main thing. This diagram I am showing you because it is more understandable, but for exam you must draw the diagram which is in your textbook. That is the main diagram you must draw, not this one. Okay, this one is for your understanding. Okay, these types of things you must take care, because this bluish color means that particular vein or artery is carrying in pure blood. Red color means that particular artery or vein is taking in pure blood. Okay, so that's for the class. We hope one more time we can go with the names. Okay, that names you must learn it to pronounce well. See, the first one is the aorta, the most important part. Aorta, the biggest artery in our body, which takes blood from heart to different parts of our body. Our heart is divided into four. Two atriums are there, two ventricles are there. Atrium and ventricles. Left atrium, which is in the left part of our heart, right atrium, which is in the right part of the heart. Okay, left ventricle, which is in the left part of our heart, right ventricle, which is the right part of the heart. Two important veins are there from our heart. One is vena cava, one is superior vena cava, and the other one is inferior vena cava. Okay, then the main one is aorta. Next one, two different types of artery and vein functioning. Okay, which is called as pulmonary artery and veins, which connects the lungs. So that's about the diagram. Okay, go through this video well. We won't discuss this one more time. Okay, I think it's enough for you. So that's it. Go through your textbook very well. After that, we will study the functions of each and every part of our heart. Once you just understand this flow, okay, that's the cycle. The vein carries the oxygen, then oxygen, the blood, impure blood, then right atrium, right ventricle, then pulmonary artery, lungs, from lungs, pulmonary vein, left atrium, then left ventricle, with pressure it goes to aorta, from aorta, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, again right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary artery, lungs, pulmonary vein, left atrium, left ventricle, throughout the body. That cycle also you must study correctly, in ascending order. Okay, that's it, my kids. So corona situation and all, last 2 days our area also became containment zone, so that we didn't get connection through internet and all. That's why one day I missed this class. Okay, 1 day or 2 days I think. So anyway, it won't happen again. Now every situation here is fine. Even though in your area I hope you are all safe, but it is better to stay at home. So that's all for today. This is Mithun Raj signing from your science teacher, signing off from this part of the world. So be at home, be healthy and be safe. Thank you and Jai Hind, my dear kids.